So the markets are in free fall. And this post blew up on Reddit, 32,000 likes, 4,000 comments. I thought we could see what the wonderful people of Reddit have to say. It could be a bit of fun. I appreciate we usually do sort of tech AI content, but I thought this could be quite interesting. We can see there's a lot of red. Bitcoin is down also. So yeah, God, I hope Trump doesn't take any actions anymore. Every time this moron says something, I lose tens of thousands of dollars. So to be honest, a lot of people have opinions on this, but the real people that will be affected by this are people who are looking to retire or retire quite soon. It would definitely be annoying, regardless of your thoughts, if you're looking to retire in the coming weeks, months, or even in the year, and you now have a lot less money than you had. Shouldn't really affect a lot of younger people. But anyway, shall we continue? I kind of find it very foul that this administration is doing nothing about this current issue. They're causing the issue. On the other hand, it is allowing all the chaos to take place. They're not just... what do you mean they're not doing anything? They're causing the stock market to crash. Yeah, absolutely. It is a bit of a weird thing to say. They're doing it on purpose. It's part of the plan. This is what Trump voters voted for. He's doing nothing he didn't promise. Agreed. I'm pretty sure he ran on tariffs. No, I mean, I'm not American, but I'm pretty sure he's been talking about tariffs for a while. USA being treated unfairly by other countries. And to be honest, at the end of the day, everyone pretty much agrees that tariffs was always going to cause... Well, when you introduce tariffs, things become more expensive for companies, so people buy less from those companies, and those companies probably make... Well, those companies make less money, because it's not like they're getting the money from the tariff, that's going to the government. So anyway, so the current administration doesn't give a damn about your 401k. Absolutely, of course they don't. They want to depress asset prices so their billionaire donors can buy up everything for cheap. I don't know if I agree with that. This would definitely be something that happens. I don't think this is a... that might be a controversial take. I think this is a bit of a conspiracy. I don't think the sole purpose is to depress asset prices and allow billionaires to buy up everything for cheap. I think it is about bringing manufacturing to America. Whether you think that's good or bad is a separate issue. I would say there's probably not many countries that have the space and resources to bring all manufacturing to them, but USA probably is one of them. So let's see. Remember when he said, I don't have time for golf, regarding Obama occasionally playing golf? Literally everything they complain about, they do themselves. Now, I don't know if this is true, and I don't know if how this was calculated, but I'm sure I saw that in his first term, it cost Trump, 150 million was spent on Trump playing golf. Now, I don't really understand the calculation, so we'd have to look at it. But yeah, someone can maybe fact check me on that, or find the source. It still amazes me how many people just didn't pay attention during his first term or during the election. If this is surprising to you, you're either ignorant, stupid, or weren't paying attention. I honestly can't remember the first term that much. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he ran on tariffs in this election. And, Elon Musk was always going to be a big part of it. And Elon Musk said that things are going to get much worse before they get better. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. That's what's going to continue happening. Things are going to get worse before they get better. If they get better, that's a separate issue. I work for Fortune 500 and I'm located in Michigan. Last year we had a work-sponsored seminar with a woman from Fidelity explaining us the advantages of saving for retirement. I mean, generally speaking, saving for retirement is a good idea. It's better than just having it in your bank account, just because of things generally go up in value. She made it a point to say, well, I just hope we get to keep the Trump tax cuts, as in heavy hinting we should vote for Trump. Trump, the tax cuts have nothing to do with tariffs. You realize that. Tax cuts generally are good for companies. So if you've got your money in I'm not saying it's good for society, again, separate issue, but tax cuts are good for companies, which means if you're investing in those companies, it's good for you. She was going on about how she's so happy she was going to retire this year. Oof. Maybe she took out her money though, like a month into Trump's term when everything was like massively inflated. She was going on about how but I just hope she's happy with the stock market now. I'm sure she's unable to retire now. I honestly can't believe that people still have faith in this guy. He had one goal when he became president. The thing with Trump is the reason people have faith is because it is a proper culture war. I think it's like them versus us type thing. So I feel like people are just, it's a bit of a cringe thing to say, but it does feel like people either love him or hate him. Like, of course, there's going to be some people who are a bit more neutral, but he's very divisive like that. So he had one goal when he became president: to avoid jail and stay out of jail. I feel like that must have been a part of it for sure. Let's see. First time. Just another business he's running into the ground. We've had decades to see how bad he is as a person and as a businessman. This is sort of factually incorrect because what you have to realize is, if you know what like a lifestyle business is, right? There's people who buy businesses and they just take every penny out of the business without investing any of it back in. So, you know, an example might be buying like, I don't know, a small taxi company, renting the vehicles, and then just paying yourself a nice wage whilst everything else sort of becomes crap and depreciates. And eventually you might bankrupt that company, but you've still been giving yourself a lot of money. That's what Trump did. Trump still profited massively from these companies that, and the reason they've been run into the ground is because he extracted as much wealth from them as possible. So yeah. He and Musk are the real life producers. We are seeing Springtime for Hitler performed on the world stage. What? I don't even know what I just read. He and Musk are the real life producers, and we are seeing Springtime for Hitler performed on the world stage. Someone's going to have to translate that for me. And it's as simple as that. The more thinks he can run a country like a business, and even if that were true, we know how well he does that. Yeah, based on his sort of past, he's going to bankrupt America, and I guess Americans, but become extremely wealthy himself. I'm laughing at the situation in a sort of, what's the word? It's a feature, not a bug. Agreed. That's because he isn't a leader. He's a grifter. It's sort of hard to disagree with that. Even if you like him and you like some of the things he's doing, he's not a trustworthy person, in my honest opinion. This isn't just negligence. It's a hostile takeover. Russia's been grooming Trump since 1987. That's not opinion. That's documented. The entire mission: destroy NATO, fracture the West, and collapse America from within without firing a single shot. And how do you pull that off? Simple. What's interesting is like some of the people that fund Trump, you know, they believe democracy is bad, you know, and I'm not talking, you know, Peter Thiel, you know, he's openly said like freedom and democracy, you can't have both. And some of them think that nations will fall and that we'll get city nations. You can sort of see Trump's administration as like accelerationism. You know, maybe that's conspiracy territory, but it does feel a bit like that. They're just trying to take capitalism to its extreme, see where we get to. How do you Trump-loving boomers like your retirement fund balances now? God, there's so much animosity. Bloodbath shall continue tomorrow. Well, we'll find out in a couple of hours. This is right here, tariffs and sour exemptions at these dinners. Trump is a Russian weapon doing his job. I'm just bracing for South Korea and Japan announcements because holy moly, it will be a storm of proportions. Yeah, EU and Asia have kickstarted the process of decoupling themselves from USA. I think there's some truth to that. There's sort of like a worry that USA is no longer trustworthy, but we'll see. You know, maybe it's all being blown out of proportion. We'll have to see. Billionaires happy to put the economy into recession or depression to buy everything. I don't think, but you say that, but like people like Musk, I don't think he invests in a lot that he isn't involved in. He's not just buying random. I mean, you know, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's always kept most of his eggs in a few baskets. Although those, you know, he has a few of them now. Like, I do think this is a consequence that will occur. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think this is the purpose. I kind of disagree on that. I think a lot of the people behind the Trump administration are probably idealistic and want to actually change society in the way they see fit, whether you think it's in a good way or bad way, is again different. Yeah, should look into whilst we're here, Peter Thiel funding city states. You should check this stuff out. It's quite interesting. Praxis, yeah, have a look at Praxis city state. Praxis Nation. Is this the website? I don't know if this is the website. This looks like a weird one. Let's do a Google. I mean, he's not the only one. He's just sort of one that I had in my head. Oh, there's the billionaire blueprint to dismantle democracy and build a digital nation. Yeah, you should look into this. It's quite interesting. Yeah. When has Trump ever shown leadership? Hey guys, I'm beginning to think the president doesn't really know what he's doing. I honestly just think this might be controversial, but I always feel like he was just a mouthpiece. And we all know that he's not really got any sort of, I don't want to say values, it's just sort of what he's a popularist. So whatever he thinks will get him the most votes will be the opinions he has, I think. In all fairness to Trump, he's trying to golf again this weekend, so he can't really focus on this right now. because he's shorting and then buying it all after the fall. I still can't believe the US president had a cryptocurrency and people bought it and then essentially rug pulled. Like, how crazy is that? Like, that's where we're at, apparently. 4th of 19s is the next process, blah, blah, blah. Crashing the markets gives the wealthiest investor the ability to buy everything up. Yeah, he's playing golf. He must be quite good at golf at this point. He just blamed Biden. Why so many hidden posts? Mods at work. The fact that this was a hidden post is quite funny. Mods misconfigured. The subreddit settings, there's a number of supposedly spam reduction settings that don't really do anything against spam and will hide random people based on how their previous comments were voted on. Fair enough. I guess there is a lot of comments. Like, you can't really moderate 4,000 comments. He could care less. He could... I hate that statement. He could care less. You know, that means he would be able to care less. The phrase should be he couldn't care less. I don't know how anyone with half a brain could be surprised by any of this. Thank you, Trump. Instead of worrying about retirement funds, Trump is giving senior citizens a free all-inclusive paid trip to El Salvador. No comment. That sounds like bait. Hey, they have done nothing to ease the current situation. He caused the current situation. He bought puts. I wonder if he did. Like, that would be crazy. He's doing what Hitler did. Combine that with the goal of bankrupting government services, so our tax dollars go for for-profit individual stock market crash as part of the plan to consolidate more wealth as people have to sell lower level. I don't know about that. Were you here during Trump? So he's really collecting super PAC money for his 4th run. I don't know what that is. Trump is trying to be the godfather and is running an extortion racket. What do you mean they're doing nothing? Blah, blah, blah. That's because he's not a leader. He's Donnie the Destroyer. I like it. Donnie the Destroyer is a good name. Oops, someone's calling me. Turn my phone off, Kramer called it. It was sort of funny to see Kramer angry. It's hard to do something when you don't even know what you're doing. You get what you vote for, enjoy. It's called democracy. See, this sounds like anti-democracy sentiment. It says Peter Thiel. Oops, now they're calling me on WhatsApp. You get what you vote for, enjoy. It's called democracy. That's not quite the American politics system actually works, but sure, there was a vote. He said he was going to lower the prices for us all. He's just starting with the stocks first. Can't interrupt his 4-day golf weekend. Yeah, anyway, I think we'll stop it there. I think people get the gist. I'm not going to be able to read thousands of comments. Let's see what this one says. Let's do one last comment that was hidden. People realize the destruction of American economy, government, and international relationship is Trump's plan, right? It does feel that way. Like I said, look into this blueprint for dismantle democracy and build a digital nation. His plan was always to tank the West for the benefit of Russia and China. I don't know if it's about that specifically. I don't think it is about that. His real handlers and who he was elected to serve, not the American people. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Leave a like. Yeah.